As summer temperatures climb, many people respond by turning the air conditioner lower and hoping for relief. The problem is that comfort doesn't always come from making your AC work harder. In today's video, we'll explore how heat actually enters your home, why some rooms stay hotter than others, and practical ways to keep your house noticeably cooler while reducing energy costs. Most of these techniques cost little or nothing, and once you understand the science behind them, you'll be able to stay comfortable without constantly adjusting the thermostat. The first step is understanding where unwanted heat comes from. Many people assume outdoor temperature alone determines indoor comfort, but sunlight is often the biggest contributor. Every window acts like a small solar collector. Sunlight passes through the glass, warms floors, furniture, and walls. Then those surfaces slowly release heat into the room. That stored heat can continue making your home uncomfortable long after the sun has moved elsewhere. Start by identifying which windows receive direct morning or afternoon sun. East-facing windows heat up early, while west-facing windows often create the hottest rooms late in the day. Simply paying attention to this pattern for one sunny afternoon helps you target the areas where blocking heat will make the biggest difference, instead of trying to cool the entire house equally. Closing curtains after the room has already become hot helps only a little. The better strategy is preventing sunlight from entering in the first place. Close blinds or curtains before direct sunlight reaches the glass. Exterior shades, awnings or shutters work even better because they stop much of the solar energy before it ever reaches the window. Not all window coverings perform equally. Thin decorative curtains may reduce glare, but often allow significant heat through. Tightly woven blackout curtains or cellular shades trap more heat before it enters the room. Cellular shades contain pockets of air that slow heat transfer, adding insulation during both summer and winter without changing your windows. Here's something many homeowners overlook. Heat entering through the roof often exceeds heat entering through walls. During sunny afternoons, attic temperatures can exceed 120 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 49 to 66 degrees Celsius. That heat radiates downward into the living space, making upstairs rooms noticeably warmer than the main floor. If your attic feels extremely hot, check that soffit vents and roof vents remain unobstructed. Proper attic ventilation removes accumulated heat before it transfers into your ceiling. Never block these vents with insulation. They're designed to work together, allowing cooler air to enter low and hotter air to escape near the roof peak. Ceiling fans often create confusion because they don't actually cool the air. Instead, they increase evaporation from your skin, making you feel several degrees cooler. That's an important difference. If nobody is in the room, turn the fan off. Running it continuously only consumes electricity without lowering the room's actual temperature. Take a quick look at your ceiling fan direction. During summer, most fans should rotate counterclockwise when viewed from below. This pushes air downward, creating the breeze you feel. Many fans have a small switch on the motor housing that changes direction. It's an easy adjustment that surprisingly often gets forgotten after winter. Now, let's talk about humidity. Air that contains more moisture feels warmer because sweat evaporates more slowly from your skin. That's why two homes at exactly the same temperature can feel completely different. If your house feels sticky, reducing humidity may improve comfort even before the thermostat changes by a single degree. Kitchen appliances can quietly add significant heat indoors. Ovens, stovetops, and even dishwashers release heat that remains trapped inside the house. On especially hot days, consider using a microwave, outdoor barbecue, slow cooker, or air fryer instead. Cooking earlier in the morning or later in the evening also helps reduce indoor heat buildup. Dryers deserve similar attention. Every load releases warmth into your laundry area, and some heat inevitably spreads throughout the home. Whenever practical, run the dryer during cooler evening hours. Even better, line drying clothes outside or using an indoor drying rack occasionally reduces both indoor heat and electricity consumption. Many electronics continue generating heat long after you've finished using them. Desktop computers, gaming consoles, large televisions, network equipment, and even charging devices produce continuous warmth. Individually, the effect seems minor, but together they become a noticeable heat source, particularly in smaller rooms with limited airflow. One practical habit is closing interior doors to rooms you're not using while keeping air pathways open where you spend most of your time. This allows conditioned air to concentrate where it's actually needed. Just avoid blocking return air vents, because your heating and cooling system depends on unrestricted airflow to operate efficiently. Air leaks deserve attention year-round. Small gaps around doors and windows allow cool indoor air to escape while letting hot outdoor air enter. On a bright day, look for sunlight around door edges or feel for moving air with the back of your hand. Weather stripping and door sweeps are inexpensive improvements that often pay for themselves. If your home has multiple floors, remember that warm air naturally rises. That's simple physics. During the evening, opening lower-level windows together with upper-level windows can encourage natural ventilation, allowing accumulated hot air to escape upward. This works best once outdoor temperatures have dropped below indoor temperatures. Many people open every window during the day hoping for a breeze. That only works if outdoor air is actually cooler. When it's hotter outside than inside, open windows often allow even more heat to enter. Sometimes, the coolest house is the one that's temporarily closed until the evening cools things down. Your thermostat location can influence comfort more than many realize. If it's near a sunny window, kitchen, or other heat source, it may sense temperatures that don't represent the rest of the home. Before assuming your air conditioner is failing, make sure the thermostat isn't being influenced by localized heat. Replace or clean your heating and cooling system's air filter regularly according to the manufacturer's recommendations. A dirty filter restricts airflow, making the system work longer while delivering less cooling. If airflow from several vents suddenly seems weaker throughout the house, checking the filter is one of the quickest and least expensive troubleshooting steps. Take a look outside at your air conditioner's condenser unit. Leaves, grass clippings, and overgrown shrubs reduce airflow through the coils. Keeping at least 2 feet, or about 60 centimeters, of open space around the unit helps it release heat more efficiently. Always disconnect power before cleaning around the equipment. If one room remains consistently hotter, don't immediately assume your air conditioner is undersized. Closed supply registers, blocked furniture, poor attic insulation, long duct runs, or significant afternoon sun exposure are often responsible. Solving the underlying cause usually produces better results than simply lowering the thermostat throughout the entire house. A simple infrared thermometer can reveal surprising information. It lets you compare wall temperatures, window glass, ceilings, and floors within seconds. Hotter surfaces often point directly toward insulation problems, excessive solar gain, or hidden air leaks. It's a useful diagnostic tool that helps you understand why certain rooms always feel warmer. Landscaping also influences indoor temperatures. Deciduous trees planted on the south or west side of a house provide shade during summer, while allowing sunlight through after leaves fall in winter. Even strategically placed shrubs can reduce reflected heat near windows. It's one of the few cooling improvements that continues working without consuming electricity. Sometimes the goal isn't making the entire house colder, but making yourself feel cooler. Lightweight, breathable clothing, staying hydrated, using a small personal fan, and avoiding strenuous indoor chores during the hottest part of the afternoon often improve comfort immediately. Combining several small improvements usually works better than relying on a single expensive solution. Keeping your house comfortable isn't about forcing the air conditioner to do all the work. It's about reducing heat before it enters, removing it efficiently when it does, and helping your home work with basic physics instead of against it. Thanks for watching Everyday Explained. Hopefully today's practical techniques help you stay cooler, lower your energy costs, and understand your home a little better the next time temperatures start climbing.